Good morning. Good morning to all. And let me begin by saying thank you for what you do. 2010 is going to determine the destiny of the United States of America. And I thank you for helping us take our country back. I did bring with us this morning a very special guest. Chuck Schumer has been invited on numerous occasions to debate, as have I. And my response when we are invited to debate is an immediate affirmative and a yes. Tell us when, and I'll be there. Chuck Schumer is refusing to show up. So this morning, we brought with us a special guest. Since Chuck won't come in person, we have with us today the imaginary Chuck. Andrew, would you bring the imaginary Chuck up here? Now, even the imaginary Chuck is so petrified of being confronted about his record that he has to come with his own bodyguard, Andrew. He's even so petrified of being challenged that Andrew has to hold him up. Notice Andrew's dark glasses. He's wired. Now, in one sense, you got to feel a little sorry for Chuck because the United States Senate has adjourned. And this is what they did not do. For the first time since 1974, the Congress has adjourned without passing a budget. He has had 2 years to get an immigration reform bill through the Congress. Didn't happen. He's had 2 years to extend the 2001 and 2003 tax cuts because they did not act. The United States and all of New York faces the largest federal tax increase in United States history come January 1. This is what they did do. Thank you, Senator Schumer. They passed a health care bill that a majority of Americans did not want, a health care bill that we now know was a lie and a fraud and a farce on the American people. They passed a $1 trillion pork-laden stimulus bill that did not work. That is the record of Senator Schumer, and it's no wonder he does not want to show up to debate. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Chuck. It may explain why he's a little out of touch. Chuck has never held a job in the private sector. Chuck has held public office since he was 23 years old. Now, that's going on 40 years. Round that off, and that's about half a century. That's a career politician. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot change what is wrong in Washington without changing the people in Washington. Our long national nightmare ends and our recovery begins on November 2nd when we return this guy to the private sector for the first time in his life. Now, this is the product of Senator Schumer, and it's very important. Sad in some ways. Last night, 1 million New Yorkers went to bed without a job to go to this morning. We now, thanks to the unfunded federal mandates that Senator Schumer keeps sending us from Washington, we now have the highest property taxes in the nation, 80% above the national average. And you know, I wish someone would sit down and explain to Chuck that we don't need his silly handouts and government grants. Would he just cut our taxes and sit down and shut up and we'll create jobs? We have lost 1.5 million people who have fled this state in the last 10 years. They didn't leave because of the weather. They got tired of having their pocket picked. We have lost tens of thousands of manufacturing jobs from upstate New York. For every dollar we send to the federal government, we're lucky to get 80 cents back. Each and every year, the federal government drains $30 billion out of New York's economy that goes to Mississippi and Arizona and Arkansas. It never makes its way back here. And yes, Chuck, that is your fault. If you're so God Almighty powerful, why are you allowing the federal government to rob New York blind? I've asked this question of Senator Schumer many times, and I've yet to receive an answer, but I've always been curious. Did he actually read the health care bill before he voted for it? Anybody want to wager a guess to that? I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate the opportunity to have a chat with you. We are going to carry this campaign to all 62 counties between May and primary day on September 14th. I was in every single one of New York's 62 counties, some 5, 6, and 7 times. We've met a lot of new wonderful friends, one way or another, with elbow grease and shoe leather. We're going to get the job done. Come November 2nd, it will be a new day for America, and we are going to take our country back and live next to our Constitution and embrace it. Thank you for being here. I feel sorry for Chuck. He's going to have a long day.
Looks like he's taking a nap.
What's that? He was doing what he normally does, standing still. Yeah.
Looks like he's taking a nap.
Thanks. Call.